Right now at 6, child care funding. The Wisconsin legislature is holding a special session to address the state's child care crisis. And the fight over DEI continues. A top state Republican is blocking raises for UW employees until millions in spending cuts are raised.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski. The man involved in a fatal car accident back in March has appeared in Trempealeau County Court today. 25-year-old Gavin Becker is charged with homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle and obstructing an officer. According to the criminal complaint, Becker was driving in the town of Gale when his truck crossed the center line of the road and hit an incoming SUV. And the driver of that SUV died about an hour later. The 1-year-old in the back seat of the SUV only received minor injuries. Now, Becker told police his steering wheel had locked up and he was trying to loosen it by turning the wheel, and the wheel then loosened too fast, causing him to drive across the center line. But in a follow-up interview, police said their investigation showed no signs of mechanical failure. And Becker then admitted that he was on his cell phone at the time of the crash and that his steering wheel had not locked up. He's currently out of jail on a $7,500 signature bond. The Republican leader of the Wisconsin Assembly is blocking pay raises for University of Wisconsin employees. Speaker Robin Vos won't approve the raises for 34,000 university employees unless spending is cut for the university's diversity, equity, and inclusion spending. Now, back in June, the GOP-controlled legislature cut funding to the UW system by $32 million. That was the amount Republicans identified as going toward DEI programs at the 13 system campuses over a 2-year period. At the same time, the legislature approved the pay raises for university employees. Vos has argued DEI programs are a waste of public funding and is now saying the raises won't be approved until DEI spending programs are cut by $32 million. Evers' spokesperson in the governor's office responded to this, saying Republicans are, quote, playing political games with Wisconsin's livelihoods. During the pandemic, child care providers received funding through Child Care Counts. Now, with the funding set to expire on September 30th, Wisconsin's governor has called for a special session to address surplus funds for child care services. News 8 Now's Michael Germain joins us live with the details. Good evening, Michael.
Ken, Governor Tony Evers is looking to provide $340 million out of the $365 million requested to continue funding the Child Care Counts program.
I beg my colleagues in the legislature, let's not gavel in and let's not gavel out. Let's really roll up our sleeves and let's get to work.
Out of the last 2 months, Senate members have been on the floor just a total of 1 day, but that all changes tomorrow.
But what we're not working on is issues that matter to every working family here in this region, and that is the issue of child care.
Federal stimulus dollars provided a 9-month program called Child Care Counts, which provided millions of dollars to child care services during the COVID-19 pandemic. But the funding is set to expire at the end of the month.
What Child Care Counts has done is it has helped lower the cost for child care providers. And at the same time, it has helped make sure that we can provide child care availability for working families.
Governor Evers has brought forward the proposal to continue the Child Care Counts program.
I support that. I think it is important that we continue to support the Child Care Counts program as we work together, collectively, in a bipartisan manner, with child care providers, as well as with parents, as well as those within the business community.
The special session calls for a $365 million budget request. Of that $340 million will go towards the Child Care Counts program. Although Tammy Baldwin will not have a say in the special session, she says it's important to hear from all aspects of the community.
I hope that the legislature will have heard from parents in their districts of the urgency of their needing to step up and keep the Child Care Counts program up and running.
The special session will be held tomorrow at noon. Ken?
All right, Michael, thanks very much. Now, Assembly Republicans last week passed 6 bills they say address the child care crisis. Those bills mostly call for loosening regulations, like allowing 16-year-olds to work in child care centers. One of the bills would also create revolving loan programs for child care centers. Those bills passed the Assembly without any Democratic support because Democrats say they don't fully address the child care issue. And of course, the other concern with this special session tomorrow that Republicans may gavel in and gavel out, as they have done in previous sessions that Governor Evers has called. Will be quite a development that we will watch for you. In the meantime, let's get a check of your Coulee region forecast with First Warn meteorologist Bill Grahl. Bill?
Well, hi, Ken. Finally, a little bit more rain fell last night and early this morning. The big winners this go around, parts of southeastern Minnesota, Houston County, down into Alameda County, especially parts of Vernon, Crawford, Richland counties. Good news here because these areas are in exceptional drought, at least parts of those counties. So anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2 inch of rain there, just under 2/10 of an inch of rain recorded out at the La Crosse Airport. Temperatures today, mid to upper 70s for highs. Ignore Sparta and Volk Field. Obviously some data problems with the sensors there, but that 79 in La Crosse makes 2 days in a row above average. Our average high is 74 degrees. That makes 9 of the days so far this month with an above average high temperature. Just some high and mid-level clouds. These are debris clouds from some storm activity well to our south, down across Iowa, central Iowa, in fact, near Des Moines and Interstate 80 corridor. Otherwise, temperatures still in the lower to middle 70s for most, even some upper 70s as you head up towards the Twin Cities where it is 80 degrees. Pretty mild for the overnight for this time of year. Lows in the 50s to around 60 degrees. Watch for some fog late tonight, primarily to the north and east. I do have some more rain chances in my 8-day forecast. I'll have the details coming up.
All right, Bill. Thanks very much. Well, La Crosse's mayor is joining an effort to protect the Mississippi River's water from being diverted elsewhere. Mitch Reynolds supports a new compact by the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative. The written agreement is a pledge by fellow Riverside community leaders to stand against efforts for the river's resource to be moved away. And as a new organization co-chair, Reynolds says he fully supports the compact because it's essential for states along the river corridor to protect its tremendous resource. A statement to News 8 Now goes on to say, quote, "As we have seen recently, water levels along the Mississippi River are not guaranteed and can be threatened severely by drought conditions, putting the river's vitality at risk. It's crucial to our economies as well as national security to maintain the integrity of the river." And along those lines, the summer without a lot of rainfall has caused Mississippi River levels to drop. Barge companies are forced to reduce their loads now so that they continue to just traverse the water. Now, this comes as local farmers are preparing to harvest their crops and send them downriver to New Orleans. According to a piece from the Associated Press, about 60% of U.S. grain exports are taken by barge down the Mississippi River. A normally low-cost shipping method is now up 77% above the 3-year average. And this is the second straight year drought has caused the Mississippi to drop to near record lows. With no big rains in the forecast, the level will probably continue to fall. Today is National Voter Registration Day, and to commemorate the day, the La Crosse Area League of Women Voters held a voter registration drive at La Crosse's main library. The group says this year is an especially important time to check your voter registration. The Wisconsin Elections Commission recently deactivated around 100,000 voter records in August because of a required maintenance process. And the deactivations affected voters who have moved to a new address without re-registering, but it could also have affected those who haven't voted since the 2020 presidential election. One league volunteer says the registration drive is also focusing on new voters.
Some people just never have even voted, and they're thinking more about it now because realizing how important the vote is in our democracy. Everybody gets to have a say.
Now, with 4 different election days scheduled for next year, the league says checking your registration now is going to save you some time. Wisconsin, of course, has a website where you can check your registration status. You can also register or re-register on that site. We'll be providing that link on all of our platforms. And of course, in Wisconsin, you can also register to vote on Election Day at your respective polling place. Still ahead, new school additions. Bangor is celebrating a groundbreaking for some new technical education facilities.
This week's Hy-Vee hot deals are fresh Hy-Vee chicken breast, just $1.88 a pound. Jack's Pizza, just $2.77. And Hy-Vee chili style or kidney beans, 2 for just 98 cents. Only at Hy-Vee.
At Schwabel Getz & Sieben, our most important value is our commitment to our clients.
Jim Schwabel was very positive, helpful, and compassionate in the situation that I was in.
Jim took care of my dad, made sure that all his needs were met. I am 100% happy in how they handled this case.
Call Schwabel Getz & Sieben or visit us at schwabel.com for a free consultation.
I would not want anyone else to represent me.
Cracks in brick, cracks in block, sticking windows or doors, settling or sinking foundation, it's a fact. Foundation problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call American Waterworks.
Never been invited to a Southern fish fry? That's okay. Get Arby's $5 Hush Puppy breaded fish basket and fries. Because Arby's would never not invite you to Arby's. Arby's, we have the meat.
Windows are a lot like car tires. They all look the same, but they definitely don't all perform the same.
Take our StarMark composite window, available exclusively at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
This window is 12 times stronger than vinyl, 2,000% more airtight, and 40% more energy efficient. All at a price less than what many companies charge for vinyl windows. Don't settle on your new windows. Insist on the best windows you can buy. Receive up to 25% off your new windows with our Cooperative Savings Plan.
This week's Hy-Vee hot deals are 6-pack Pepsi products, just $2.99 each when you buy 4. Cheez-It crackers, just $2.48. And Colorado peaches, just $1.88 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
Construction is underway at the Bangor Middle and High School. The school district held a groundbreaking ceremony to celebrate the new facilities. Now, the school is going to be building a 4,400 square foot weight room and new technical education facilities. The new additions, part of the $24 million referendum passed last November. The district administrator says the new construction gives the students something fun to look forward to.
When they get to see some of these spaces and the current designs and the current color schemes and the weight room equipment, the tech ed equipment, all those things, I think it's just going to be really, really easy to get excited about coming to school and being a part of those areas.
Now, the next phase of referendum construction will begin next summer. The district will be renovating the interior of the middle and high school. The La Crosse community now has a place to clear their heads downtown. Western Technical College cut the ribbon today on its urban green space. It's located next to the Horticulture Center. The president of Western Technical College says the horticulture program approached the school about building the green space about 5 years ago. The green space is an area that everyone is welcome to use. President Stanford says it's a space that's great for relaxing during the day.
Green space is just what we need downtown, is to be able to have something that we all can, kind of sit back and enjoy and not just look at concrete walls. And so I think this is really good for people to actually use to clear their head so that they're just the best participants at whatever they have to do to make a living.
Stanford says there will be benches, they just haven't arrived yet. The green space even has electrical access during the day. Coming up tonight at 6, lagging behind. New COVID vaccines are out, but the CDC says fewer people haven't even gotten the previous round of vaccines.
And I'm meteorologist Bill Grahl. Looking at the radar, there's some batches of rain all around our region, but will any of them impact us? I'll have the answer with my 8-day forecast after the break.
Experience the joy of home sweet hosting with help from Ashley. Pay 0% interest for 5 years in-store only. And shop guest-approved essentials starting at just $17 per month or $9.99.99. From our store to your door. Fall in love with being home at the all-new Ashley.
Hello? Yeah, this is Russell Nicolay. Yeah, bald head, sunglasses, you got it. Yep. Billboards, baby.
Whoa, 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 man. Hey, if they want the real Nicolay, they should get the real Nicolay. Thank you. Russell Nicolay here. Yeah, we can help.
In a world full of choices, make sure you get the real Nicolay.
Fake beard, really, man?
Well, come on, it's like looking in a mirror, isn't it?
I don't know about that.
Are you looking for a high-paying career without any experience? Chart Industries has the opportunity you've been waiting for. Starting wage $30 per hour, highest pay in the area, guaranteed 40 hours, and so much more. If you are making less than $60,000 and want a healthy work-life balance, apply at jobs.chartindustries.com today. That's jobs.chartindustries.com.
Save on your next project with 11% off everything at Menards. Create your dream bathroom with Sterling bath products that fit your style and budget. Like this Finesse Peak shower door. It's $499.99 after rebate. Get cleaner clothes and softer skin with our great selection of Morton water softeners. Morton's Wi-Fi integration allows for tracking and alerts which put you in control of your water. This 45,000 grain water softener is $599.99 after 11% off.
Save big money at Menards.
At Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, we know the Cooley region's weather is unpredictable. 40 degrees today, 75 tomorrow. Is your HVAC system fully prepared to effectively handle the stresses of the next season? Beat the inevitable rush and schedule your HVAC clean and check today. Be confident your air conditioning unit and furnace will work when you need it. Call Bagnevsky Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted Trane comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a Trane.
Your Trane comfort specialist, Bagnevsky.
Right now at Ashley, pay 0% interest for 5 years in-store only. Plus, shop Ashley Sleep Queen mattresses starting at just $250. Or receive a free mattress with the purchase of a 5-piece bedroom set. From our store to your door. Get hosting ready at the all-new Ashley.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
COVID-19 vaccination rates are lagging behind vaccination rates for the flu. According to the latest data from the CDC, nearly half of all adults and about 58% of kids are getting the flu shot each year. But only 21% of U.S. adults got their bivalent COVID booster shot. For kids, numbers were even lower. Only 8% of everyone under 18 got that shot. For older adults, less than 50% of people 65 and up got the bivalent COVID booster, compared with 2/3 of people in that age group who typically get their flu shot. Meanwhile, COVID hospitalizations do continue to rise. Weekly admissions are now more than triple what they were just 2 months ago. Health experts are calling for all pregnant women to be screened for high blood pressure. Today, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force urged doctors to put an increased focus on diagnosing hypertension during pregnancy. That's because the U.S. has among the highest rates of maternal deaths, and high blood pressure can be a silent killer. Gestational hypertension is associated with dangerous conditions like preeclampsia and eclampsia, which can lead to seizures and even comas. While blood pressure screenings are already common practice, the new guidance is aimed at giving them a greater emphasis on routine prenatal visits. Time now for a check of your Cooley region forecast. Not a bad day today. Let's bring in meteorologist Bill Grahl, who's got the latest. Bill?
Yeah, again, we started with some rain very early this morning from La Crosse and Point South, but the bulk of the day was dry, and temperatures were pretty warm. Mid to upper 70s were common, including 79 out at the La Crosse Airport. That's 5 degrees above average. 60 the low, that is 7 degrees above average. And there's the rainfall tally out at the airport, 0.19 inches, but boy, we need a lot more where that came from. Still 1.82 inches below average for the month, and over 6.5 inches below average for the year. 76 degrees with some high clouds scattered about. 77 here at the station. Winds out of the south at 5 to 10, and the Mississippi dropping to right around 5 feet. 77 for you folks in Eau Claire with a mostly sunny sky. Winds out of the southeast at about 5 to 10. So some warmer air sitting to our west. We're going to tap into some of that as we head into the next 2 days with highs in the 80s for some. You can see some rain-cooled air down across Iowa, only 64 in Des Moines. Our neck of the woods, though, mainly in the 70s. 72 in Viroqua, 73 in Sparta, 77 in Winona, 80 degrees up in the Twin Cities, and a little bit muggier dew points in the mid-50s to lower 60s, so a little sticky for some, especially compared to where we've been the last several days, so a little bit of humidity around tonight with dew points not far from 60 degrees. Winds out of the south and southeast, 5 to 15. They've been gusting over 20 at times today in some spots. And if those winds go light enough overnight, watch for some areas of fog, especially up here over north central Wisconsin and areas north of Interstate 94. That'll quickly mix out by mid-morning if we do see that form. Otherwise, some debris clouds from that storm activity down across Iowa, which is going to stay to our south. You can see some of those high and mid-level clouds kind of being lifted north and east across parts of our area, as that disturbance will stay to our south, and warmer air coming in behind this warm front. That's what's going to warm us up to around 80 plus degrees for the next 2 days. Sky trackers showing those storms staying well south tonight. Otherwise, just some a mix of kind of stars and clouds. Again, that low cloudiness or fog north of Interstate 94. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds. In fact, same deal on Thursday, with the rain chances primarily staying to our west both days. I'm expecting most spots to remain dry in our area. Temperatures tomorrow, again, fairly warm, right around 80 or 81 degrees in the La Crosse area, and kind of backwards from what we're used to seeing. Mid to upper 70s far south, and then warmer as you head to the north, probably lower to middle 80s for highs in Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls. So for tonight, partly cloudy and mild for this time of year. Again, some patchy fog possible late, primarily north and east, lows near 60 in the Crosse. 81 tomorrow and on Thursday with a mix of sun and clouds. A small chance for a later day thundershower on Friday. Better chances heading into the weekend, especially on Sunday, with highs in the lower to middle 70s, and then right around 70 for highs next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Slight chance of showers on Monday and some low-end rain chances on Wednesday as well. By the way, welcome back, Ken. Great to have you back.
Oh, sure. Bill, thank you so much. It's good to be back. All right, everybody. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers will be looking to bounce back tonight in St. Louis. Plus, we're coming down the final stretch of the boys' soccer season, and a couple MVC squads still vying for that top spot in the conference. Vikings and Riverhawks were at it this afternoon. Rob's highlights are next.
The Board Store Home Improvements. Everyday low prices on bathroom remodels for seniors and families. Contact us today for a prompt free estimate.
Experienced sales consultants are good listeners who sell people what they need, not what's on sale. They're easy to work with and value a trusting relationship. We know team members with these life skills earn lifelong customers. Dahl Auto, simple.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 68th anniversary, and we're celebrating in a big way with exciting new and innovative products throughout the store at unbeatable anniversary prices. Like all new Stanley drinkware, 20% off. This Kalmbach Pumpkin Spice Block, $12.99 for rewards members. And 5-quart jugs of Pennzoil Full Synthetic Motor Oil, only $31.99. Get a $20 gift card from Pennzoil when you buy 2. Come celebrate and save during Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 68th anniversary sale, going on now.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone in Wisconsin can call, text, or chat to get connected to a trained 988 counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you're concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
Create an elegant focal point in your home without venting or gas lines with La Crosse Fireplace Company. Our Heat and Glow linear electric fireplace creates the relaxing ambiance year-round with or without heat. There are different styles and designs to fit your needs and budget. You can even change the color of the flame and ember bed to create the perfect mood. Help warm that cold room or just create a beautiful focal point in your home with a Heat and Glow electric fireplace. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
In every department at Dahl Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. In over 100 years at Dahl Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Dahl Auto, simple.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now's Rob Schiff.
There's been some great soccer so far this year in the MVC. A lot of squads still jockeying for position as we come down the final stretch of the fall season. We had 2 good teams going at it earlier in Holmen. Vikings hosting rival Central. Holmen opening the scoring early with a couple of goals. Riverhawks looking to slice it in half, but a nice save here keeps the margin at 2. Other end, Vikings looking to add some more, but Andre De La Rosa's shot is stopped. But that's when Holmen hits another gear. Look at the teamwork. Jacob Lohr to Andrew Ripp, back to Lohr for the score. Give and go, works to perfection. Holmen goes up 3, and the home team not done later in the first half. Vikings still pouring it on. Braylon Welch, right place, right time, off the header. Welch puts it in, pretty finish for Holmen. Vikings extend their lead to 4. They go on to get the big win, 9-1 the final score. As for later on tonight, we are jam-packed. A couple of big matchups to look forward to. On the volleyball court, Holmen has been unstoppable so far in conference play. Vikings still haven't lost a set against an MVC opponent this season. Hilltoppers hoping to change that tonight in Holmen. Plus, the number 2 overall team in Division 4, Royal, has been red hot. Panthers look to keep it going tonight on the road in Cashton. We'll have highlights from both those matchups coming up at 10. On the diamond tonight, Brewers will look to bounce back in St. Louis. Milwaukee getting some good defense last night. Sal Frelick going all out in the center to keep this one scoreless early, but it was Wilson Contreras supplying the only offense last night for the Cards. A laser beam solo shot to left put St. Louis on top, and it was a special night for Adam Wainwright. Win number 200 for the longtime Cardinal, just the 5th active pitcher to reach that milestone. Brewers hoping for a different story tonight. First pitch, 6:45. Some big news coming out of Anaheim today. Angels two-way star Shohei Ohtani undergoing surgery earlier today to repair his right elbow. Doctors say they expect Ohtani to return next season, but only as a hitter. He is not expected to pitch until 2025. Ohtani will be a free agent this offseason. So, Ken, first of all, welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Great to see you.
Good to be
Great
back.
see you. That's big news because he's a free agent. I mean, a lot of teams are lining up to kind of give their biggest offer, but that has to play a part a little bit.
Absolutely. As no longer a two-way guy, I mean, he'll still command quite a bit of money on an annual basis, but it definitely changes how the market will react to him being a free agent.
And you want to lock him up, so you know he's going to pitch in 2025. So
yes.
It's only 1 year.
All right. So it's still in the Brewers' wheelhouse, I think.
so.
You send him an offer.
Come on, let's do it, Atanasio.
Throw the entire budget. Rob, thanks very much. Bill's back right after this.
By Goff and Rohde, you don't just get a lawyer. You get the experience and power of our entire team of lawyers, paralegals, legal assistants, and researchers. By Goff and Rohde, your personal injury law firm for over 50 years.
With a tankless system, you can have unlimited hot water whenever and for however long you need it. Upgrade to a tankless today and never be left without hot water again. Rely on Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
Start your adventure and get in a new Jeep at Pischke Motors La Crosse or Pischke Motors West Salem.
Stop in now during the Jeep Adventure Day sales event. You'll save over 10% off MSRP on a 2023 Jeep Renegade, a 2023 Jeep Compass, or a 2023 Jeep Gladiator. These Jeeps are ready for your next adventure. Pure comfort and functionality at your fingertips with the power and confidence you know Jeep provides. Stop in now because this offer ends October 2nd.
Start your search at Pischke.com and drive away in your new Jeep.
Whether it's a bathroom remodel or comprehensive plumbing services, we at Maxwell White strive to keep our neighbors safe and comfortable in their homes, offering honest, upfront pricing on every service, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call Maxwell White today.
I won't write your will.
I don't write contracts.
I won't handle your divorce.
I do know a few things about personal injury law.
All I do is help injured people get the compensation they deserve.
At By Goff and Rohde, that's how we get results.
Temperature still in the 70s for most. Great evening for outdoor plans. Pretty mild overnight for this time of year. Lows in the 50s to around 60 degrees. Watch for some fog late tonight, especially north and east. A couple of warm days tomorrow and Thursday. Mid 70s to lower 80s, maybe even mid 80s in spots. Increasing rain chances heading into the weekend.
All right. Bill, thanks very much. And thank you all for joining us tonight at 6. We'll see you at 10.